I'm Nicolas Queret. I'm sound engineer and music producer. We are here in Frette, in the control room. I've been working in Frette since 2009. Before that, I've been assistant in different studios. When I heard about this place, I came to visit. I was really amazed the first time I came in because of the combination of the gear, of the rooms, and also the vibe of the place. All the books, all the records everywhere. I think that's what I loved about this place. So I started as assistant for 3 years. And after that, when the previous house engineer left, I've been engineering myself as a house engineer. And since that time, I'm doing most of the session. So we have the mics everywhere, and they all come down in here. We mainly use the console as mic pre's and EQs. We also have different preamps like the V76 and the Langevin from the console upstairs. But most of the time we use the console because it's a really special Neve console. It's been made in 1972 for Eddie Barclay. It's 1081 preamps and EQs. We've got 36 of them, which is a big luxury. I think it's the best console I ever heard. So I'm really happy to work with it every day. We use the preamps. For the insert, we have quite a lot of compressors, Fairchild, TubeTech, LA2A. We have reverbs also in the other room, plate reverbs, 140 and 240. Digital one, like the 250. And most of the time we record to tape. So we have a Studer A820. That's a 24 track on 2-inch. And of course we have a Pro Tools system. We also have a G37, which is a really old tape machine. It's 4 track on 1-inch, and we can use it with a clasp. Everything is recorded through Pro Tools, but going through the G37. So the tape keeps rolling all the time, and we record through that machine. So we've got that tape sound. I really like tape because I think people focus more on what they do. Even myself, I have to make the right decision and find the right sound straight. And we are not thinking about editing in Pro Tools, so you have to make your choices first. And I think that's really good. It's a good pressure for everybody. And after that, of course, we transfer it to Pro Tools and we can tweak it. But the main performance is to tape is the best. Yeah, the first takes for me are really important, because when a band or an artist comes in, if they feel comfortable, if they're happy with the sound they've got in the headphones or with their instruments, using the rooms, using the gear we have here, I think the first takes, it's always the first picture of what they do. And even if the settings are not totally right, you get that performance, and that's what I really like about it. For me, it's as much important to have the right sound on the instrument. If you want to do something really specific, or I don't know, for drums you can put a bunch of stuff on the hi-hat, or I don't know, tweak on the instruments before going through the recording gear. Because for the musician, it's really important to have the feeling of what it is and what it can be on the record at the end. And after that, for me, it's so much easier to just make the sound in here. For drums, I always start with just one mic. Most of the time I use a Sony C38. Really depends on the drummer. But if you have the good balance with that mic, I like it in the middle of the drums between kick and snare. If that sounds good, you've got the drummer balance. And I think that's where I start every time. After, if you want more room or more kick or more snare, we can add mics. But if this one sounds good, it's always great. I really enjoy to compress it or distort it a bit. With the preamps on the 1176, if we need to make it a bit bigger, the Pultec is great. It's really important to have the sound we will have on the record at the end. So if we can make that sound in the room, even before going to the console or to the gear, I think it's great. For the Arctic Monkeys last record, we've done that with a tape delay, straight in the room, drummer and singer playing at the same time. So we had two drums actually, two drums playing at the same time and the same pattern, to have the vocal delay and drums playing in the room. I just had a Revox tape machine, so I send a mic from the vocal to the Revox and then to a speaker. Speaker was playing really loud in the room, so we had the delay from the vocal and from the drums playing in the room, so we had the bleed of that sound in the other instruments. I think a good record starts with a good song and a good performance. If you don't have both, it won't sound good. So 90% of the sound is coming from the guy playing and the performance he will give you. That's why also I like the first takes and having everybody on tape. And after that, we can do a lot of different combination of sounds. Especially in here with all the rooms, we can have somebody upstairs, somebody downstairs, or everybody upstairs and the amps downstairs. Once you've got everybody comfortable, you just choose what you like in terms of microphones or preamps and what you want to do. But yeah, the first thing is to have a good song and a good performance. I really like the Neumann U67. I think it's one of my first choice every time. It's really warm and present at the same time. I really enjoy it on vocals, on pianos, on almost everything. Like I said before, I like the Sony C38 and C37. They sound a bit duller, I will say, but really smooth and punchy at the same time. I really like them. For the dynamic mic, I use the 441 quite a lot on guitar cabinet, sometimes on vocals too. If the singer is in the same room as everybody, I think it's really good. I listen to a lot of music in headphones, and I'll always check my mixes on headphones. I use the Sennheiser 598 and the 600. I think I prefer the 598 because I think they look better. And yeah, I always check my mixes through headphones. I think everybody listen to headphones now, so it's good to have a good reference. And I have them since a while, so talking with the band before they comes in, it's really important to me. Listening to the demos. Once you've done that, you can set them up the best. You can play with the different rooms where they feel comfortable, and that's what's great about the studio too, is we have a lot of different options. If there is any advice I can give, it's listen a lot to what people have to say, what the artist wants, what they're looking for, what they're expecting from you, because your position is always different. What they're looking for, what the sound they want. If you do that right, after it's much easier to record them. The confidence is a key too. And after that, of course, you need to know the gear to be fast. You need to work a lot. Be engineer, for me, it's like musician. You have to practice every day, and because you need to know what you do. Oh, I know how I can do that sound, or I know how I can do that. I'm still learning a lot, and I really love that. And every day you discover something new. So yeah, practice is really important.